All right, so round 6. We're unfortunately not live to make top 8. We've got a losing record for the first time in what seems like forever in an ETS. And we're up against like a budget Rakano list or something. Like I'm gonna call it Rakano weenies because it's just a lot of units that are going wide. And this hand has a lot of power in it. It's got a nice blocker and a sabotage, but sabotage doesn't seem super important in this matchup. Let's see if we can get, like, I don't know, something else. I think this is better. Maybe. It's got an Argenport Instigator. See, now I've got the choice between instigating or annihilating here. I'm going to go with the Instigator and make them have the torch. Ah, they have Finest Hour. Alright. Well, we'll have Annihilate up next turn, potentially. They are going to be getting a lot of War Cries in the meantime. So it's tempting to actually use Annihilate here, but if I can use up a Finest Hour, I'd be pretty happy. I could get... If they play Sword of Ikaria, then I can just Annihilate beforehand, right? So there's Finest Hour. We're just going to make the most out of this Instigator. Again, they're getting a lot of War Cries, which is a bummer, but hopefully our units will just be big enough to deal with that. Ugh, now I've got to decide between Gale or holding up Annihilate. We're going to go with the Gale. I want to get counter pressure at some point, plus this gains life. We're not hurting on health here. So any, like, by far our best draw is what, a banner, because then I can play Champion of Cunning and start buffing this, and they're in real trouble. They have no main deck vanquishes, so they have to have Torch to kill this. They didn't have Torch last turn, they would have torched this. So it was pretty safe to play the Gale. And we'll see what these War Cries end up hitting, but hopefully they don't hit Champion of Glory. Champion of Glory is a problem card for us. I guess holding up Annihilate doesn't do a whole lot here. Let's play Feln Bloodcaster. It gives me an okay double block. And it gives me another unit that can get buffed by Champion of Cunning whenever it comes down. If this becomes a 4-5, it's kind of a problem for them. Oh, they found the torch. Huh, okay. They chose to torch that and not Gale. Huh. So you can either shut down the better attacker or the inevitable War Cries. Let's go here. Although that's a little worse against a Finest Hour, but they didn't have Finest Hour last turn. Alright, they're gonna... they have Flame Blast for this as well. It's a little bit of odd sequencing from them. I don't think it's worth swinging with this. I'm just going to hold it back. I forget they're playing Flame Blast. Yeah, maybe we do want 3 Sabos post-board. It's like we're stuck on power, but we also drew Steward of the Past, so... Dece. We still don't know what the hell those War Cries hit. We have not seen them yet. They got a lot of them. I'm hoping it hits something that dies to Annihilate. That's what I'm hoping for. Worst case scenario, I don't even want to say it, but now that I started to say it, is a hit of Valkyrie. No, Valkyrie Enforcer dies to Annihilate, right? I guess, yeah, Champion of Glory is still worst case scenario. And they have 4 of them. If they hit anything else, we can be okay. We'll be okay. And there's Permafrost. I think I just hold it. I just hold everything. Like, this just isn't a thing that's a concern. Just hold it all. They're not main decking Protect, so they either have Torch or Finest Hour available. I don't know which. Yeah. I'll start attacking now. They draw Flame Blast, it sucks, but whatever. I want to start attacking at some point. Enforcer. Alright. They can swing, but I'll double block. Wow, he didn't draw a Shadow Source. Makes me sad. I think I didn't afford to take a hit from this. Depending on if I want to swing with this, just to get the Finest Hour of a hand, no. I guess I could actually swing with this, because I still have that double block available. I could keep attacking with that. Alright, so they have the hammer, so they're going to hit us for 6, but then we get to permafrost it. We're now in Flame Blast range, which is spooky. And of course this doesn't get friggin' flying. I've got to put a clock on here. It's just a question of how much of a clock. Keep 3 back, yeah. 8's pretty good. We're not in Flame Blast range because they're stuck on power. So we should be able to gain life here. They have nothing but spells in hand. But again, they're only playing 25 power in their deck. It's not surprising they're stuck on 4. That's not any kind of surprise that they're just drawing spells every turn. So any power is pretty good here. These are either going to get flying or start buffing things. Alright. There's the Flame Blast. You Flame Blast my face. They're at 9? What happens if I ace space? Yeah. So. Alright. Got game 1. Maybe I do want... No, I'm still playing 3 Sabos. 4 Permafrost. Yeah, we're trimming the Annihilates just in case we need a Death Strike. And then we're just bringing in Lightning Storms and Strays to just, like, clean up any mess that actually happens. And we have Blacksite Harbinger. Yeah, we're just bringing in all of our sweepers. It seems like their Go Wide Rakano and that kind of stuff could be useful as a comeback. Maybe cut a Permafrost or a Death Strike just to make sure. Like, I have an Answer Everything thing because I have Lightning Storm. Alright, yeah. We're going to go with something resembling this. I think the Sabotages are still worth it in this matchup. I could be wrong. Maybe just playing more removals better. But, like, Permafrost might just be better than Sabo, but I think we have enough removal without it. I can't be bad at this. Oh, they said ready. Somehow I didn't see that message. Nope. Ship it. Ship that out of here. I want to cast my spells. Alright, I can cast my spells. We have no removal or sweepers, and we're on the draw. So 2 strikes against us in that regard. But this is a nice curve, so that's at least nice. And they didn't have a 1-drop. Well, they probably maybe did, but again, we don't know. At least we get to go Bloodcaster, Steward, Champion of Cunning. I'm going to have to get these tricks out of them at some point. It's just, I get to disrupt their curve if I do so here. If I wait to double block, if it's Finest Hour, it doesn't even help me anyways. I'm just going to do it now. You got to rip off these. You got to deal with them at some point. Like, if I don't block, like, why am I not blocking? Like, what does the rest of my plan look like? I'd rather they use up all these finest hours on this now, and then they don't have a good way to deal with Steward of the Past. All right. Second verse, same as the first. They have another Sigil in hand? Alright, so they're running out of gas. They got 2 War Cries. They 1-for-1'd us with Finest Hours. If they swing with this, now I'm not blocking with this. That's not happening. But I was okay with these blocks. Like, I have to deal with them. Alright, there's a Deserter. Impending Doom. That gives me a counter clock. Champion of Cunning makes this a 5/5, but that actually puts it in Vanquish range if they have it. If I play Felm Bloodcaster, I can't block anything else. I kind of like Impending Doom here. Because I actually don't mind using Impending Doom to block this instead. Yeah, I like that plan. Like, we should just out-top deck them, as long as we survive in the meantime. They don't have any tricks at the moment. Like I said, they could have Vanquish, which would be not great here. But again, I think it would hurt more if I played Champion of Cunning rather than Impending Doom if they had Vanquish. Because then they could Vank this. At some point this will be exposed to Vanquish, but we might be able to wait it out. Forcer, alright. Gonna double block just to play around stuff. Namely, Finest Hour. It's unlikely they draw 3 Finest Hours, but there's basically no downside to throwing Steward of the Past in the way as well there. Alright, so now I've got to decide if I want to go double Bloodcaster or Champ. Means I won't have a blocker for this, but I won't have a blocker for it either way. Just gotta hope they don't have their weapon for this. Alright, they have another Sigil in hand. They do have a weapon. They're only Gemblade. Alright, so that's a real clock. And that's a real answer. Excellent. I will offer this trade for this 3/3 here. I doubt they take it. Actually, I may kill the quick draw unit instead. Now I'm looking at it. It may be more beneficial to kill the quick draw unit with a bunch of X5s. And now we're going to turn the clock on them real fast. I've just got to decide how aggressive I want to get here. The answer is probably really aggressive. Okay. Ooh, style points. Alright. So yeah, when our deck does what it's supposed to do, it does dumb stuff, right? It's just like, yeah, pile of good cards. Deal with this. Deal with this pile of good cards that I just have in my deck, right? We're not supposed to have bad draws. Just somehow we've managed to have bad draws all day. And there it was just like, yeah, who needs removal? We didn't play any removal spells, we just played units. And those units were removal spells. They were the ones playing spells. They played a bunch of Finest Hours and stuff, right? We were just like, nah, we got 2 5s and 3 3s and 3 5s with Death Touch. And, oh, okay, here's one of our removal spells we're playing. Cool. But, you know.